Hi, this is Calpurn Piso. Well, we are approaching. This is the month of Mars. March. In ancient Rome, used to be the first month. Out of the 10th month, used to be the first month. But anyway, this month is when Julius Caesar, the Christ, was sacrificed by the Senate. The senators that hated him, and they ended up killing him. His sacred blood spilled, and then they putting in a tropaeum, his wax image, and then his body was cremated. It ascended to heaven. Everybody loved him. The Jews loved him. They considered him the son of what the Jews were traitors, but they consider the son of David, another imaginary character. But see, what happened is that the pile, they have killed the god. So a lot of the, they killed the Pontifex Maximus, the son of Venus, the divine Julius Caesar, Divus Julius. And when they cremated him, it was a lot of revolts, and all these people were mad that they have killed the son of Venus, and they grabbed their ashes of the pyre of the divine Caesar, Christ, and they put it right on his head. And that is the reason we have everything evolved, mutations, more mutations, and mistranslations and everything else. And that's why, in the 4th century, Julius Caesar, there used to be a Pontifex Maximus, Archelaus Megistus, and Archelaus is anointed savior, which it was shortened to Jesus Christos. In other words, anointed savior, and that's where Jesus Christ came from. So Julius Caesar was an Archelaus Megistus, he was a Jesus Christ. In other words, he's a Christus. So that's what Constantine started, all the mythology and everything, the passion of Jesus Christ. With the crucifixion, nobody can find crucifixion as evidence. All these mistranslations, they cannot find the apostles, they cannot find anyone, not even Paul, they don't find Moses, they don't find Abraham, they don't find anything. Zero archaeological evidence. Nothing. And they try to pass it as history, the Catholic Church. Well, today, which is the 9th of March, 2011, this is Ash Wednesday. And when Julius Caesar was killed, was assassinated, and was put on the fire, they called the De Sanguinis, the Day of Blood, which is equivalent to the Passover of the Jews, the Nisan. And now they're related with all the Jews and the Pharaoh trying to persecute all the firstborn and all the nonsense. But everything originated from the sacrifice of Julius Caesar, the Christ. Evidence is everywhere, even in coins, that he was cremated.
The Cardinal service saying
Ash Wednesday, put ashes on the head. It should be just mud.
Just my priests and the people who run my parish. It's going to continue
Ash
its investigation.
Wednesday. Ashes scam.
That are within
the idea from the burning of the body of Julius Caesar when he cremated and ascended to heaven. Here's Caesar raising from the death, guided by an angel. What people don't realize is that Julius Caesar was a Christus. Was a priest, and anointed all over. He was worshipped all over, temples all over the place. He merged with Yahweh and with Jupiter, with Osiris, with many other gods, with the sun god. He was one. It was the same, different names, but the same person. The same God that actually existed. And that was Julius Caesar, the Christus, that was sacrificed in the Senate of Rome, that was meeting at the theater of Pompey, which had a big ceremony there. And so it became almost like the passion of a Christ of the Caesar after he was killed. But he was shipped everywhere. The Jews, the people of Judea, Palestina, worship him. They love him. And Herod was a Romanophile. And all that. So we know that he was, and nobody mentions this. And there's no evidence of Christianity. Even the cities of Pompeii, Stabiae, Herculaneum, bury the 24th of August, the year 79 CE. by Vesuvius. You don't find Christianity, you find anything there that had related to the Christus. But anyway, I was brought up in a Catholic family, nuns, I was an altar boy and all that, so I'm very, very well of this of the religion of the Christus. One thing that is interesting, that Ash Wednesday, they always, the priest, put this ashes in there, and he says, you came from ashes and you will return to be ashes. Or you came from dirt and you'll be able to dirt. And but this is not dirt. You came from the ground, from dirt, and you're going to turn into dirt. Why ashes? The reason is because of Caesar. Everything evolved and mutated into what became the Catholic Church. 500 years later, Constantine created the Catholic, which means universal religion of the Christus. That is a fact. That's exactly what happened. The evidence is overwhelming if you know where to look. And you have to connect the dots to understand the history. Because we create gods with the brain. Believing in this gods and bizarre beliefs of religion as true today in this 21st century is a problem. It's a neurological disorder. It's a malfunction of the brain. Either if people are very ignorant, they believe in that, or their children. But there is no excuse for an adult or a very highly educated person to believe in resurrecting zombies and nonsense like that. I mean, they don't exist. It's products of the brain, all these ideas. I want to explain something about grapes. And I made a little excerpt, a little video for a good friend in Italy that wanted to know about this and about grapes and the relationship with the 72 virgins. And here's what I said. Mio caro amico nuovo Manlio, come sta? È un piacere. Listen, my Italian is getting pretty bad. I used to know it much better when I was younger. You were talking about, remember, we're talking about the grapes and the virgins and all that in the Quran. Remember, everything is linguistics. It's very important. And epigraphy. Everything changed. We have to always keep in mind that everything changes. And that's the key to everything. Like I said, all the Abrahamic religions, they all come from the killing of Julius Caesar. The only true Christus, the only true God. A lot of people don't realize that. All happening in 44 BCE, in March, this month, the 15th. But then he was placed, Julius Caesar in a tropaium, and then became the crucified Christ much, much later. Centuries and centuries later, because everything changes under Constantine. Also, another thing that happened is July of the same year that comet appeared. And then Augustus, or Octavius, the son of God, he made coins with the images of Caesar, his father, and in heaven. He said, hey, he resurrected. So those three things created the so-called Judaism, Christianity, the many, many factions, and Islam. As you can see here, the translations of grapes, and it's all confusion. It's just a translation of the language. For instance, have you noticed that you have in the Renaissance some sculptures of Moses, and it has horns in it. You know why? Because in the Bible, they mistranslated race for horns, which is equal to the penis. So when they say, oh, Moses came with the tablets of God from Mount Sinai, radiating with horns of light instead of rays of light. So they put them, one mistranslation. Another one is, it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter heaven. You know why? Camel was confused with rope. The thread is very small, but a rope is a large thread. So it was a mistranslation. So he said it's easier for a rope, which is very equivalent to a thread, to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter heaven. So it's all mistranslations. So it's very, very important. Well, here's just two examples of Moses with horns. There are many, many more. These are the Moses, and notice the horns at the tomb of the Pope Julius II. You know, they're the ones that had all the monuments. And then this is another one. This is called the Well of Moses. And here you see it. You know, there's just mistranslations. That's it. It's another interesting thing about Moses. What's in the name? Everybody thinks that Moses, existed, the Jude. No. Moses, there's no evidence that he existed. It's just like many other characters, prophets and all that. But mistranslation. Moses is simply a title. In Egyptian, if you say Moses, means son of. That's it. It's a title, son of. Like the Pharaoh Ramses II, Ramoses. Ra is the sun god in the sky, and Moses is the son of. So the Pharaoh Ramses is actually means the son of the sun god of Ra. That's what Moses means. Here is the moment of the son of the sun god, Ramoses II. So we have to pay attention to all these languages mistranslating. And you know, Latin and Greek were written from left to right, and right to left, and then left to right. That's called bostrafedum. Imagine the confusion. If you notice the Russian alphabet, the Cyrillic alphabet, there was actually two monks in the 9th century, Methodius and Cyril, went over, guess where? From Constantinople, the big city of the Chrysocotics, of the Greek Chrysocotic, Greek Christians, were sent to convert the Rus, or the Russians, it's called pagans over there, to give him, and he gave him an alphabet. These Chrysocotic monks, some Cyril and Methodius. That's the reason they call the Russian alphabet. Have you noticed the backwards E's and backwards R's and all that? They call it the Cyrillic alphabet. But I believe that's exactly what happened. You know, because it used to be left to right and right to left, and the letters changed number. That is one of the reasons. So names are very important. Another thing that is interesting is when you say son of Moses, you know, Ramses, Gaius, the Roman name is Gaia us, U-S, Gaius. Gaia is earth, is the mother earth. So us is usually son of, the same like Moses. So you say Gaius Julius Caesar, in other words, son of the earth, Julius Caesar. So that's what Gaius means. Also, another interesting thing is when you say Barabbas. Bar is the same thing in the Hebrew, the Aramaic. You say Bar means son of. And Abba is like father. Barabbas, son of the father. You know, like the Ptolemy, the Pharaoh, the Greek Pharaoh, very intellectual, that constructed one of the Pharaoh of Alexandria, the big lighthouse, and also the Library of Alexandria, all full of intellect. The man was incredible. He's the one that actually gave these people supposedly the 70 books of Moses, the 72 book of Moses. Actually, he was very intelligent. He controlled. He was an Epicurean. He controlled the people, ignorant people, with religion. That's the best thing, that you can control ignorant dummies and retarded and morons that believe in this resurrecting zombies. To stay quiet, you control them with religion. So he decided to do that. This book, 72 monks went over there, and he have them all separate, and they all came up with the same book, with the same translation. Inspired. 72 monks. Of course, they changed it to the 70 just to make a round number. Septuagint. Sept means 7. Tuagint is Septuagint. But Ptolemy, if you say Bartholomew, it's a very good name, right? The Christian Catholic name. Bartholomew means Bartholomew, son of Ptolemaeus, son of Ptolemy. So you can see all the confusion. And today there are people that believe in resurrecting zombies and prophets and angels and demons and life after death and all this spiritualism nonsense. No, sorry. They should read history and realize where it comes from. One thing that we must keep in mind is that Ptolemy Philadelphus was also a god, a pharaoh. So Ptolemy Philomelus was a Moses, in other words, son of. And keep that in mind. So he gave the Jews, supposedly, I mean, there's a lot of things that have to be connected, but he gave the traders and the speculators that were all over the empire, over different ancient empires called the Jews, because they eradicated in the Roman province of Judea, Palestina, gave him the 70 or 72 books of Moses. In other words, it's Septuagint. They call it 70 now, the round number, but they were actually 72. Oh, and the grapes, 72 grapes are translated with the 72 books of Moses, done by Ptolemy Philadelphus, the ancestor of Cleopatra in Alexandria. He was a Greek, brilliant man, son of God, of course, because he was considered a pharaoh, but he was Greek. And he got the money to supposedly translate for the Jews. He got 70 scribes, 72 scribes, again equivalent to the grapes. 72 scribes to translate the books, and each one came up with the same identical translation. But they don't call it 72. They say 70, Septuagint, same thing. It's all relations. And again, grapes. You make wine with grapes, okay, and then they mix the grapes with datura flowers, with sacraments to see God, and mushrooms, and all the hallucinogenic materials. Perhaps like the one that Gaddafi in Libya is talking about, because these guys, these Arabs, they use them all the time. Opium and cat, they call it, and the stuff that you chew, just like in Peru, they chew the cocoa leaves. And all this stuff is hallucinogenic material. You can lick a toad. A toad is the same thing, but you actually smoke the white substance of the toad. So hallucinogenic materials galore. That's where religions were created. So that's exactly what happened. The idea of grapes and angels and stuff. Of course, you take the datura flowers and you take some of that stuff and you eat it, and in the sacraments and incense, they even use incense that was aromatic, hallucinogenic type. You see, so this is where they see gods and angels and demons and all that. And of course, they come to mistranslations. So that's what you get your mistranslations from. And actually, by eating stuff that makes you see God and angels and demons. That's exactly what happened. Now, go back in time, many times. And sex was sacred because it gives you the blessings of orgasm. But see, if you are going to copulate, and you're going to procreate, and your penis gets erect, and you worship the vulva, the Venus, the mother Venus, the cave of creation, at the entrance of the vulva, around the top part is the clitoris. But to a nation, this is a sacred thing. That's where all the babies come from, product of God. It's sacred. But if you touch the top part, which is a miniature penis, which is the clitoris, it also resembles a grape. Grape. Okay. So it's a lot of metaphors. So you will call it, hey, you want me to rub your grape? You tell that to a lady, right? Because it's with the wars and everything changes, but you rubbing the grape, you're going to give her orgasm, and you're going to receive also orgasm. Blessings of the God. Grape, this can be a metaphor for the lady's vagina, the cave of creation. See, remember, these people didn't know what this really great feeling, sexual feeling came from, libido, and all that, by rubbing your penis and all these sensations, the glands, and penetrating an orifice, like a snake going inside of a cave, and all of a sudden you have this tremendous sensation where this is paradise, this is heaven. So if you make love to your boyfriend or girlfriend, what is the thing that you're going to say when you experience the sensation of, oh my God, oh God, oh yeah, yes, God, oh, and then you have orgasm. Those are the little grapes. It's equivalent also to the vagina of the angels. Don't you call your girlfriend that is very beautiful and give you all this sex, all this orgasm, my angel? My God? That's what it is. Penis Christ. But that's what the grape represents also. Also, grape has an equivalent in the male penis, in the glands, which resembles a mushroom, especially when the mushrooms come up and they have this milky fluid. So they was associated because the mushrooms, especially psychedelic mushrooms, gave you could see God and receive orgasm, give you all these visions. So the head of the penis, it was equivalent to, or the Godhead, it was equivalent to mushroom. So you see the association, metaphors.
زوجناهم بحور عين. We have paired them with dark, white. That is the traditional understanding of this verse. If you put the dots on the undotted text a little bit differently, what comes out is, we make you comfortable under white, crystal clear grapes.
This means a reward of grapes and of 72 virgins in paradise. This 5th century mural in an Egyptian monastery depicts the archangels receiving souls in paradise. Each holds a grape in one hand, and in the other cradles the souls who are refreshed with bunches of grapes.
And all of that is felt where? Here, in the brain. Sometimes you have wet dreams. How come? You don't have any eyes. I mean, when you're dreaming, but you see everything, and you have this sex, and you see these figures and people, and you're doing all this stuff, and all of a sudden you come all over the place. You had a wet dream. You have orgasm. Because everything is felt in the brain. You don't need eyes, or nose, or mouth, or anything to have those senses, because the brain is recreating them. So the brain is the one that creates God. So we must remember that. It is a fact. Now, nuns, priests, and all that, when they go to sleep and they're horny, they will experience the same sensations. But then to them is a god or a demon visiting them. This happened to a famous abbess, named Hildegard von Bingen in the 11th century. You know, chrysopsychotic par excellence. And the lady, this abbess had all this, she had scintillata scotoma, or scotoma scintillata, which is, actually you feel these auras of things and stuff, because she will have a problem with her brain. And she experienced, she actually was the first woman in history that described a female orgasm. And they were, who? The incubus. The male demon that come around and, goes into the cave of creation with his spirit, phallus, creating orgasm, blessing the female with orgasm. And the succubi was the opposite, was a female demon that enticed the priest. Interesting. Stuff like that is okay if you know history, and those people a long time ago believing it is fine, because that's what they believed at the time. But today we know we create God with the brain. There's no excuse. Anybody that is religious today is a theotard, is a very ignorant, they have a problem with the brain, like a schizotypal disorder. I hope you enjoy this. Pace de Oro.